It's 3:17 a.m. The phone rings. You bolt upright in bed. Not because of the ring, because of the tone, the special tone, the private channel. Report in, that's all you hear. Then the click. You don't know where to go. You don't dare ask. Your instructor told you, in this business, asking questions is weakness, and weakness gets people killed. You put on the suit, check the holster. The guy in the mirror looks okay. But you know, it's just surface. You haven't been through anything yet. Training simulations are one thing. Rounds whiz past your ear, rubber. Screaming extras, actors. The real moment hasn't come. You don't know when it will. You only know it will. You drive to the staging point, 4 a.m. The city is still asleep, but you're wide awake. Adrenaline burns in your veins. You tell yourself it's focus. But deep down, you know, it's fear. You'll learn to hide it. You will. 6 months later, you're standing on the south lawn of the White House for the first time. The voice in your earpiece is calm, professional. It took you 3 months to memorize the code names. Everyone has one. You're not you, you're Watchman 7. Your name doesn't matter. Your past doesn't matter. No one ever asked what you studied in college. No one cares if you're married. You are a function. You are a wall. First motorcade. The president's car is called the Beast, not because it looks like one, but because it is one. The doors are as heavy as a bank vault's. The glass is thick enough to stop armor-piercing rounds. You're in the follow car, the rear vehicle, not the most important position. But you're only 2 cars away from the center. That distance gives you a strange kind of comfort and a stranger kind of pride. You watch him step off Marine One. The rotors are still spinning. The wind is strong. But his walking rhythm never changes. Step, step, step. You scan the crowd. Every pocket. 2 cars away from the center. That distance gives you a strange kind of comfort and a stranger kind of pride. You watch him step off Marine One. The rotors are still spinning. The wind is strong. But his walking rhythm never changes. Step, step, step. You scan the crowd. Every pocket, every glance, every hand approaching the security line. Your eyes learn the scanning pattern. Left to right, near to far. People become silhouettes. Silhouettes become threat scores. An old man coughs, score 0. A child raises a hand, score 0. A middle-aged man with his hand in his pocket, score 2, too high. You lock on, your breathing slows. Your finger doesn't move, but your awareness is already on the gun. Then he pulls his hand out, a selfie stick. Score returns to 0. You keep moving, this is your life, second by second. Year 3, you've moved up. No longer follow car, now you're on the detail. 2 steps to the president's right. That spot isn't requested, it's assigned. You don't even know what you did to get it. Maybe nothing, maybe that's the point. You start to understand the first law of this system. Don't draw attention. Don't ask. Don't make mistakes. Don't be a hero. Heroes are trouble. Heroes mean something happened. Your job is to make sure nothing happens. So nothing ever does. But you know, things are happening somewhere else. 2 a.m., you're standing in the hallway. The president is sleeping in his room. You hear him turning over. Sometimes he talks in his sleep. You can't make out the words. You don't want to. Because knowing too much is another way to die. You've seen the old agents. The ones with 15, 20 years. Their eyes are different. Not tired, empty. Like a building with all the lights off, but the windows are still there. You start to understand where that emptiness comes from. It's not from the danger. It's from you're no longer human. You're a machine. 10 that 300 times. And every time you wonder, is that true, or has the definition of anomaly changed? The system tells you, thinking is dangerous. Thinking is the problem. You are the solution. Solutions don't think. You start to have trouble sleeping. Not the anxious kind. The kind where you lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, your body resting, but your brain still scanning. Left to right, near to far. Your wife leaves. You're not even surprised. She leaves a letter. You say you'll read it. You put it in a drawer, it's been 6 months. Because if you read it, you'd have to feel, and you no longer allow yourself to feel. Year 7, you're the detail leader now. 40 people under you, 40 eyes, 40 guns, 40 lives, all in your hands. The president has changed. New person, new habits, new risks. But the system hasn't changed. The system never changes. You notice you barely speak. You don't need to. A look, a gesture. Index finger up, raise the alert level. 2 taps with your left hand, rear car accelerate. Your people read your body language better than you read the president's. You start to understand something. You're not protecting a person. You're protecting an idea. And ideas are far more dangerous than people, because people can be negotiated with. Ideas can't. That afternoon, a public event, an outdoor podium, your eyes sweep the rooftops. Standard procedure. But this time, your scanning pattern catches something. The 7th row of windows, 3rd floor, the curtain moved. There's no wind, your hand comes up. Halfway, the gesture isn't finished. But there's already a voice in your earpiece. Another observation post saw the same thing. You don't wait for confirmation. You walk to the president. Bend down, speak low. Sir, we have to move. He looks at you. There's impatience in that look, annoyance at being interrupted, but he stands up anyway. Already a voice in your earpiece. Another observation post saw the same thing. You don't wait for confirmation. You walk to the president, bend down, speak low. Sir, we have to move. He looks at you. There's impatience in that look, annoyance at being interrupted, but he stands up anyway. Because he knows you wouldn't interrupt unless it was necessary. 3 seconds later, you're in the car. Afterward, they find a rifle behind that window. Never fired, never had the chance. No one ever knows who. No one ever knows why. The media says security threat neutralized. No one mentions you. You don't need to be mentioned. That night, you sit alone in your car, engine off, the garage is dark. You look at your hands. They're not shaking. They never have shaken, not once. You don't know if that's strength or damage. Year 10. You're no longer a name. You're a code name. Not the public kind, the kind that only 3 people know. You won't say it. You won't write it. Because if you say it, it loses its power. You're not protecting the current president now. You're protecting former presidents. 3 of them. Because the people who hate them aren't dead yet. Hate doesn't die. Hate waits. Your life now looks like this. Hotel suites, private jets, non-disclosure agreements stacked higher than your knees. The things you've seen, if you wrote them down, would blow up half of Washington. But you won't write them. Because you don't even keep a diary anymore. Anything written down is evidence, and evidence can be found. Real security leaves no trace. Your people call you sir, not respect, not fear. It's awe. The line between awe and fear, you can't see it anymore. Your phone buzzes, not a ring, a specific vibration pattern. Only one person has that pattern. You pick up. 3 o'clock, the usual place. Click. The usual place is an underground parking garage, not a government building. The line between awe and fear, you can't see it anymore. Your phone buzzes, not a ring, a specific vibration pattern. Only one person has that pattern. You pick up. 3 o'clock, the usual place. Click. The usual place is an underground parking garage, not a government building, an ordinary garage chosen 3 presidents ago, because ordinary is invisible. At 3 o'clock, you arrive. Another car is already there. The window rolls down halfway. The person inside says, "We need you to handle something." No details, no need. You say, "Understood." You turn and walk away. You don't ask what, you don't ask who, you don't ask why. Because there are truths that once you know them, you can never go back. And you left going back behind you a long time ago. Year 13. You're called to the White House, not for duty, to the Oval Office. This is your 3rd time inside that room. The first 2 times you stopped at the door. This time you walk in. The president sits behind the desk. He gestures for you to close the door. You close it. "I need you to come back," he says. "You're no longer in the field. You're an advisor, a living monument to the disasters that never happened. Lead the detail. There's a new threat. I need the best." You look at him. You think, I've done 13 years. My body hurts. My hands shake sometimes, just not in front of anyone. My daughter, if you can still call her that, hasn't spoken to me in 3 years. But what you say is when. He says tomorrow. You nod. You walk out. In the hallway, a young agent looks at you. That look you recognize. The same look you gave the old agents 13 years ago. You want to tell him something. You want to say, leave this place, sell insurance, drive a truck, anywhere but here. But what you say is, button your jacket. He says, yes, sir. You keep walking. Because the rules are the rules. You can't save him. The old agents 13 years ago. You want to tell him something. You want to say, leave this place, sell insurance, drive a truck, anywhere but here. But what you say is, button your jacket. He says, yes, sir. You keep walking. Because the rules are the rules. You can't save him, just like no one saved you. Year 16. You no longer work shifts. You no longer lead teams. You no longer stand in hallways. The Secret Service has a position called Senior Advisor. But that's not your title. Your title is blank. Your paycheck says Special Services. You sit in an office with no windows. The door has 2 locks. Someone needs a decision made, a decision that can't be written down. They come to you. You sit behind the desk, they stand in front, they explain, you listen, then you say one word. Yes or no, no explanation, no reason, no discussion, your word is final. Not because you're smarter, not because you have more power, but because you are the only person in this system who fears nothing. You don't fear death, you don't fear prison, you don't fear losing anything, because everything that could be lost, you've already lost. Your family, your name, your sleep, your peace, your humanity, all gone, so you are free. This is the final secret of the system. The greatest power comes from having nothing left to lose. One day, a young man walks into your office, Secret Service rookie. He doesn't know who you are. He thinks you're just some old bureaucrat waiting to retire in a windowless room. He has a document, needs a signature. You look at him. You remember so many things. The wind on the south lawn, the 3:17 a.m. phone call, the curtain that moved when there was no wind, the car in the underground garage, the visitor whose name you never asked. You remember the letter your wife wrote. You still haven't read it. It's still in the drawer. Maybe you never will. You sign. The south lawn, the 3:17 a.m. phone call, the curtain that moved when there was no wind, the car in the underground garage, the visitor whose name you never asked. You remember the letter your wife wrote. You still haven't read it. It's still in the drawer. Maybe you never will. You sign. The young man takes the document. He turns, walks to the door. You say, son. He stops. You want to say, leave this place. But what you say is, button your jacket. He says, yes, sir. The door closes. You sit alone. No windows. No sound. No name. Somewhere outside, a rookie is reporting in. 3:17. The phone rings. He bolts upright in bed. Heart pounding. He doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't know where this road ends. He doesn't know the cost.